Welcome! In this tutorial, we would like to familiarize you with the gameplay basics and build a small pioneer settlement. You have come to the New World by order of the Queen to settle new territory. It would seem that Her Majesty would like to have a word with you in person.
Know that we have doubts about your success, but we will see how well you get on in making this island habitable.
Don't be put off by Her Majesty's lofty demeanor. This lady may seem reserved, but she's not at all. Just have a look. She has already built a warehouse for you on the coast of this island. Prove to her that you can establish a small pioneer settlement in Goldford. First, you should have an overview of your island. The warehouse on the coast, marked here with the arrow, represents your trading office. It is the first building that can be built on any island and allows you to build more structures in the area around it. Equally important as a warehouse is the village centre. It will be the bustling hub of your settlement, Goldford. Now proceed to the construction menu to build it. Open the construction menu by left-clicking on the flashing button in the left corner of the screen. Good! The construction menu is now open at the bottom of the screen. It shows all the buildings you can build. At first, the buildings for the Pioneer level are available, and more buildings will be added later in the game. Now, start by building the village centre. In the construction menu, left-click the village centre to select it. To ease your entry into the game, in this tutorial, we will provide you with some suitable construction sites. Later, you are free to choose where you position the buildings. Build the village centre by left-clicking on the construction site provided. It will then be highlighted and surrounded by a border. Excellent! You have just built your first building, an important milestone for your settlement. To settle the first pioneers on your island, you should build some houses in Goldford. In the construction menu, left-click to select a house. Build the house by left-clicking on the construction site provided. Congratulations! The first pioneers have already moved into this house. Your settlement is slowly taking shape. Each house can accommodate a certain number of inhabitants. No more pioneers can move into your settlement when the limit has been reached. Build more houses so that more pioneers can come and settle. When you have a total of 6 houses, Goldford will be large enough for the moment. Build 5 houses on the construction sites provided for them. Marvellous! You have created sufficient living space. Now pioneers will gradually come and settle down in the houses. The Queen has granted you a substantial seed capital. Have a look on the info bar in the top left corner of the screen. You can always view your current wealth here. Your current funds won't last forever. You must make a profit as quickly as possible. You can raise taxes to do this. The more people who live in your settlement, the more tax levies will automatically find their way into your city exchequer. In the info bar, you will see that 48 pioneers have now come to live in your settlement who will pay their taxes honestly. The green number under your wealth indicates your current balance. As the tax income is presently higher than the operating costs for your buildings, you are making a profit. Don't worry if you go into the red during the early stages of the game. This will level out during the later phase of the game. To view information about your settlement, you can select all the buildings in the world directly. We now want to attend to your inhabitants' needs, and to do this, you should look at your village centre. Select your village centre by left-clicking on it. Very good! You will see the village centre menu displayed at the bottom of the screen. Each of your population civilization levels will be represented by a self-portrait. You can see the current level of satisfaction by the facial expression and background colour of the portrait. Your pioneers are in a friendly mood at present. The satisfaction of your inhabitants depends on whether or not their needs are being fulfilled. Your pioneers are longing for a community, so you have already ensured this need is satisfied by building a village centre. Food is also an important basic need of your population. The Queen has provided you with enough supplies to ensure that this need is satisfied for the time being. You can gain an accurate view of the stock level of your food supplies in the info bar on the top left. As your population will have a constant requirement for food, your reserve won't last forever, so ensure that you maintain a supply by producing food yourself. With the help of a fisherman's hut, you can provide for the population's food demands. The building can be situated on sandy coastal areas, like this one. The fisherman's hut requires a particular resource nearby: fishing grounds. You can see fishing grounds on the rippling water near the coast with a fish icon above it. If you move your mouse pointer over the icon, information will be displayed on the quantity of fish you will find here. Build a fisherman's hut on this sandy beach. Open the construction menu and select the fisherman's hut. Fishing grounds that are within the area of influence of the fisherman's hut are shown surrounded by a border, so you can see where the fisherman is able to cast his nets. Build the fisherman's hut by left-clicking on the construction site provided. The fisherman immediately goes out onto the ocean. The food production is up and running. Yet you still have something to do. The buildings must be connected via a dirt road so that the market wagons can transport the food to the island-wide warehouse. It will then be available to the population. Select the dirt road in the construction menu. In this tutorial, we will give you useful start and end points for the road connection. Later on, you will be free to choose where you build your roads. Left-click to position the start. Very good. When you move the mouse pointer, you will see that the road sticks to your mouse. Congratulations! You have connected the fisherman's hut and the warehouse by a dirt road. The market wagons will soon arrive to transport the food to the island-wide stock. The food supply for your settlement Goldfurt is assured for now. Time to catch your breath and have a closer look. You can observe your inhabitants. Congratulations! You have built a small pioneer settlement and have successfully completed this tutorial. The inhabitants of Goldfurt are satisfied, and the Queen too has every reason to be proud of you. You can now repeat what you have just learnt in a practice game if you like, or proceed directly to the second tutorial. Return to the main menu to quit the tutorial. Welcome! In the second tutorial, we will show you how you could upgrade your settlement to reach the next civilization level. The Queen, at whose behest you have established a settlement here, is still not entirely convinced that your exploits will be a great success. Prove to her that, on the contrary, you can lead your population to the settler level. In Goldfurt, the small settlement you start with, you will find everything your pioneers could possibly want: a village centre, a warehouse and a fisherman's hut on the coast, as well as ample living space. Now, it is worth creating the conditions to enable your inhabitants to progress to settlers. Building material is used for every building you construct. Wood is one of the most important building materials, and at the start of the game will be required for all the buildings. The info bar in the top left corner indicates how much wood you currently have available. To ensure that you are suitably equipped to upgrade your settlement, a top priority is to establish a lumberjack's hut, which will supply you with wood for your buildings. To make your entry into the game easier, we will provide suitable construction sites. Later, you are free to choose where to position all the buildings. Open the construction menu and left-click to select a lumberjack's hut. Build the building by left-clicking on the construction site provided. It will be highlighted and a border will appear around it. The lumberjack gets to work immediately. Now all he needs is a dirt road to allow the market wagons to transport the wood to the warehouse. Select the dirt road and place the start point right next to the lumberjack's hut. Place the end point next to the warehouse or on the existing road network. You can't build a road here in this tutorial. The start and end. Excellent! Wood production is in full swing and goods are also being transported to the warehouse. The lumberjack fells trees in the wood. The cleared area around the lumberjack's hut indicates the area of influence in which he goes about his business. Trees are a self-renewing raw material and available in ample quantities on your island. The more trees that surround the lumberjack's hut, the more quickly wood production can proceed. In the lumberjack's hut menu at the bottom of the screen, you will see that the lumberjack processes the trees to produce wood and how much he has already produced. Up to 5 tons of wood can be stored in the building. When the internal warehouse is full, the lumberjack will stop his work for a while. The percentage indicates the lumberjack's level of productivity. The higher the productivity of a production facility, the more quickly the relevant goods will be manufactured. As you can see, the lumberjack is currently hard at work. We have much to do, and wood is immediately required in the initial phases of the game. Therefore, build a second lumberjack's hut to guarantee a supply. Open the construction menu and select a lumberjack's hut. To maintain high productivity, it is important that you build the 2 lumberjacks' huts far enough away from each other so that each lumberjack can find enough raw material. Build the lumberjacks' huts on the construction site provided. Also, connect the 2 lumberjacks' huts to the road network via a dirt road. Select the dirt road and position the start point just next to the lumberjacks' huts. Position the end point right next. The wood supply is guaranteed. You now have plenty of time to attend to your population and check if they are satisfied. Select your village centre. As you can see from the portrait in the village centre menu, your pioneers are quite satisfied. All their needs, food and community, are adequately fulfilled. Now, another need has arisen. Cloth. Cloth already belongs to the needs of the next civilization level. If you supply it to your population, you will have satisfied one of the conditions required for them to become settlers. Wool can be processed to make cloth in a weaver's hut. The relevant building is now available to you in the construction menu. Open the construction menu and select a weaver's hut. Construct the building on the construction site provided. The weaver's hut also needs a road connection to the warehouse, so that the market wagons can pick up the cloth later. Excellent! Now have a look at the weaver's hut. Looking at the productivity display, you see that no cloth is currently being manufactured. The raw materials icon shows you the reason why. You do not have the wool required for it. You should remedy this situation quickly. You can manufacture wool for cloth production on a sheep farm, and you will find the relevant building in the construction menu. Open the construction menu and select a sheep farm. Construct the building on the construction site provided. The first sheep are already grazing in the pasture. As the buildings are situated very close together, you don't need to build a dirt road this time. The weaver's hut sends a journeyman out who after a while picks up the wool directly from the sheep farm. Sheep farms and weavers' huts form a production chain. Only the final production facility, in this case the weaver's hut, requires a road connection to pick up the goods. A weaver's hut normally operates at optimum capacity with 2 sheep farms. To produce enough wool for your weaver's hut, you should also build a second sheep farm. Select a sheep farm and build the building on the construction site provided. You have taken care of wool production. At some point, congratulations! Your weaver's hut is now being supplied with wool in sufficient quantities. Soon the first cloth will be ready. You again have a moment to devote to your population in Goldford. Select the village. As the need for cloth is now satisfied, your population's satisfaction has increased again. Judging from the portrait, you see that this has put your pioneers in a euphoric mood. To ensure that your settlement can expand further and the population can later progress to become settlers, you should create more living space. To do this, build 6 houses near to the village centre. Open the construction menu and build 6 houses on the construction site provided. Well done. Once the new inhabitants have moved in, a 4th need will now be displayed in the village centre menu. Faith. Similar to cloth, the need for faith already belongs to the settler needs. As soon as it is satisfied, your pioneers can advance to the next civilization level. A chapel can satisfy your population's need for faith. To enable all Goldfurt's inhabitants to benefit from it, you should construct the building in close proximity to the houses. Open the construction menu and select a chapel. Build the chapel on the construction site provided. Very good. The first inhabitants are already going to pray in the new portrait of every civilization level that lives in this house appears in the house menu. The facial expression and background colour reflect their satisfaction. Beside it is shown which needs the inhabitants of the house have and if they are being fulfilled. As you can see, the needs for food, community, cloth and faith are being satisfied. You have already fulfilled all the conditions required for a level increase. Look, the population is already starting to upgrade their pioneer houses to settler houses. The Queen will be delighted.
You have now achieved your first success truly worthy of respect. Carry on.
Your village centre has also changed with the level increase. The square and the statue are shining with a new brilliance, and the market stalls have been upgraded. That will please the people of Goldfurt. Congratulations! You have enabled your population to advance to settlers, and you have therefore successfully completed this tutorial. The inhabitants of Goldfurt praise you in recognition of your services. You can now choose to repeat what you have just learnt in a practice game, or proceed to the 3rd tutorial. Return to the main menu to quit the tutorial.
sir.